Good morning, internets. It is Tuesday morning. I am on my way to work. Batman's in the back seat. You doing good, Batman? Yeah, he's doing good. And we are getting ready to go to My Vegas Magazine, so I'm pretty happy about today. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about Alessandro, and I'm going to try to get through something a little personal right now, and I hope that you all bear with me. I have not been taking the freeway to or from work since the accident. For the most part, and that is because I have been afraid of the freeway. The accident that I had with Alessandro was at Jerry Tarkanian trying to get onto the 215 coming back southeast. I work pretty far away from where I live. It's on the other side of the valley for me, on the south end of the valley. But going east and west, it's on the west side, and I live on the far east side. So the freeway is naturally the best way to get there. Get on the 215 and go do the local commuter thing. But I haven't been doing that because of where I wrecked, and I haven't really been super honest about with myself even about how nervous I am about being in another accident. I was in, and I've mentioned it before, and I've talked about it before, about my boating accident in a Cracker Box boat that was, we were in a points race, and the boat caught a roller and flipped and unwound and ejected me from it at 100 miles an hour and struck me in the leg on the way out and completely dislocated and dearranged my left knee, and sprained my spine and all kinds of badness, pretty severe concussion, and my C-collar, I'm getting on the freeway right now, the C-collar that they made me wear during that wreck, and thank God because somebody slapped it on me at the last minute before I got in the boat, has crush beads in the interior, so in the event of an accident you can see how many G's you were pulled, and like there's little glass beads, and they have either green or red dye, and then the green, and then you can see which way like the beads broke, if that makes sense. It gives you an indication following an accident, just what direction things went and how many G's they went. All of the beads in my C-collar were completely crushed all the way around, the green ones and the red ones. And I do hear a siren, but I cannot see where it's coming from. I think it was going the other way. Yeah, I see no lights. All right. Always look for the sirens. Yep, it is going the other way. So essentially there's no real reason for me to have survived that accident. I was later told over a year after the accident that I, in fact, drowned at the scene and had to be, brought back. And that was a really life-changing wreck, not just because of, I died, but it changed everything for me. I hurt my leg very badly, and it's a factor in my day-to-day life now. There's no more high heels in my future. There's no more, effectively ended the little bit of a modeling career that I had, because you can't wear high heels anymore, and can't stand up for long periods of time in the same place, and there's just it took a lot of things off of my list. I didn't hike for several years, and hiking is one of the things that I love best in the world, and it was all over this one moment, this one accident. So I kind of stayed out of motorsports. That was the last time I ever got in a boat, and I've just been kind of avoiding speed or anything, but it was very traumatic, and like I said, very life-changing. And this happened in 2012. This is coming up on 6 years ago now. On November 1st it will have been 6 years on November 1st. Goodness. And then I walked around on it for over 2 years before I got the surgery that I needed. It was painful, and it still is painful. It hurts all the time. I didn't realize how afraid I was of being hurt again. I mean, and I guess I've talked about it with Rob, and it comes up, like, I just really don't want to be hurt like that again. If you've never been in a really serious accident or been laid up, knocked on your ass for a significant period of time by a severe injury, then God bless you for that. And I hope that is a trend that continues in your life. I hope that that's something you never experience. But I'm pretty afraid of being crippled like that again and having my life impacted super severely like that again. And like, you can see that I'm getting misty right now thinking about it. And I've been avoiding the freeway, and right now I'm taking the freeway to work. I've been late to work a couple of times in the last 2 weeks. Not anything more than 10 minutes, but I'm never late to anything anywhere. Anybody who knows me, Buggy, if you're watching, everybody knows I am never late to anything. I'm always usually 30 minutes early, and I bring a book or, a sketch pad or a ball of yarn and a hook, and I'll crochet. I will be early to everything. It is better to die than to be late. And lately I've been like late to work a couple of times. Oh God, that's not me at all. And it's because the surface streets on the way to work that I've been taking are a lot less predictable. And if you catch if you get the light cycle in the wrong phase of it, you just end up hitting every red light, and before you know it, I'm 5 or 10 minutes late when I never ever would be late before, ever. And the only way that I could think of to solve that problem is to either leave like an additional 30, so leave for work an hour before I have to be there, which is a little silly, because I have, things I want to do in the morning, like go to the gym and take my time and shower after the gym and all that stuff. Or I could just get on the freeway that has very predictable flow and very predictable times and go to work and realize that the freeway is not responsible for the accident that I have, and avoiding the freeway is not necessarily going to prevent another accident from occurring. So I'm saying all this out loud right now because I think I need to hear me say it, and I am recording it and choosing to put it on the internet right now in case there's anybody else who got their nerves shook up and feels silly about talking about it. I do. There's part of me that does feel silly. That's like, come on, girl, get a hold of yourself. And nothing bad happened. Your car got a little smashed up, but that's why you have insurance. You're going to get your car back soon. And I think that's part of it. Like, Alessandro's going to come back soon, and then life is going to resume. Like, this rental car fantasy is going to go away. I don't drive a Kia Soul. This is not my daily, but this is my 3rd week in it. And things are starting to become this is starting to become normal. That's the other thing. I'm driving this gas-burning car in stop-and-go traffic, and I'm all about efficiency and hypermiling, so the freeway should be, if you're going to drive an ICE car, the freeway is definitely the business. The stop-and-go from stoplight to stoplight is so much less efficient, and I was doing it anyway, just out of fear. And I didn't really notice that that's what I was doing. I was just like, oh yeah, screw that, I'm not getting on the freeway anymore. But I didn't really associate that decision with a choice to live in fear. And that's something that, I take pretty seriously. And I don't want to give away so much of my time and so much of my day to being afraid of being in another wreck. I know the mistake that I made that caused that accident. And I'm positive it's a mistake I won't make again, because it has been so traumatic, because it has been so costly, because I severely impacted the life of another person. I mean, her car got smashed up too, and we haven't been in contact or anything, but I imagine her experience of this situation has been very much the same, only it wasn't her fault. So she's been without her car for a period of time and trying to get it fixed and everything, and again, that's why we have insurance, and that's great. But her life has been interrupted, her routine has been changed by that incident, by my behavior that created that incident, and I feel really terrible about that. And that's another thing. I'm not just scared of getting hurt again. I'm also scared of impacting or inconveniencing another person who doesn't deserve it. And I don't know. I have a lot of guilt about the accident that I guess I hadn't really worked out until pretty much just now when I'm talking it out to you guys, recording it. But I feel pretty terrible, and I don't know a way to come correct about it, except for that I was an insured motorist the way I'm supposed to be, and her vehicle's being taken care of. Like, there's nothing else you can do after that point. And just like trying my best to make sure I never make that mistake again. I do legitimately believe that the entrance to the freeway at, you know, that Russell and Fort Apache area getting on at Jerry Tarkanian. If you're not a local, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you are a local, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I do feel that exit is that entrance to the freeway is like legitimately unsafe the way it's designed. But there's no excuse for the mistake I made. You know, they make your merge time, it's just so short right there before the freeway just forces you off on Jerry Tarkanian. You don't even have time to get over, so people, you know, swing wide, which is what I did. And then you end up in the flow of traffic, and there's a light pole right there. It's just perfectly positioned to set you up for failure. And I should have known better. And I just didn't. So like maybe it's reasonable to avoid that entrance to the freeway if I know it to be like I have personal experience that tells me that it's unsafe. But avoiding the entire freeway, I mean, I've got, I don't know, probably 100,000 miles in driving around the 215 under my belt. Like, I know this freeway inside and out. I drove the entire length of it every day as a teacher. I mean, literally every day. I got on very near where the 215 starts in Henderson, and I got off very near where the 215 used to end. It goes farther now, but used to end all the way out at Lone Mountain. And I drove the entire length of it every day. No incidents, no problems. You know, I did it in an ICE car and I did it in the electric car. You know what I mean? And I never had an incident or an issue, and that's because the freeway is not to blame. And I need to deal with that. I need to deal with the fact that the freeway is not to blame, and accept that, you know, it's gonna be all right. And so right now I'm gonna get to work about 15 minutes early, the way I'm supposed to. And I'm back on the freeway. So, you know, and I have gotten on a couple of times when I haven't had the choice, but I haven't felt really good about it. And today I made a choice to like just get back out there. Let's just do this. And like maybe you guys it's YouTube, so there's a chance that my comments are going to be filled with some not nice comments about either me being a girl or me being a sissy about it, or what. And I don't give a damn. I don't care. This is actually how I feel. I've been hurt before, and so this little accident that was, you know, really a fender bender, because everybody was all right, and, you know, our cars blew apart and all the plastic exploded on them, but that's exactly what they're supposed to do. All the crumple zones crumpled the way they're supposed to. But like, really, in the grand scheme of things, it was not a major tragedy, and that I'm very thankful for that. But it brought up all the stuff that I'm afraid about with getting hurt again. And I didn't like, I mean, when I was hurt before, I was hurt for a long time. I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't get to and from the bathroom on my own. I couldn't do anything. Like, Rob had to carry me everywhere, and he did. And he was so wonderful. And I was on crutches for a long time. It was just, and, you know, in addition to that, when I was hurt before, it wasn't just the crutches and the not being able to do anything for yourself. It's that the only way to manage was, you know, all of the painkillers that they gave me. And, like, how the hell do you live life completely twacked on Percocet? And I couldn't. But you can't deal with the pain either, so you just can't do anything. And it was a really crappy corner to be painted into, and it felt exactly like that. I felt trapped, it felt cornered. And so this last accident made me feel like, oh crap, you could be trapped like that again. Oh, remember, you could be injured again. And it, like, the machinery of fear in my mind has just been clicking away on that. And that's not a good way to live. That's not a good way to keep the smiles going at all. And so I wanted to share it with you guys and talk to you about it. And I think that's going to help significantly, because sometimes you just need to talk it out. And I don't know if that sounds silly to you, but sometimes it helps just to be like, yeah, here's what happened, and here's why it happened, and here's what I'm scared of. And then, like, once I say it out loud, it's a lot less scary. So, and now here I am. I'm at my Vegas magazine. So thank you guys for keeping me company on the drive out here. And I feel good about it. I feel good about having gotten here the way I wanted to, and I'll use a different freeway entrance in the afternoon to get home than I did, before. I think I'm always going to avoid that entrance at Jerry Tarkanian. But there's another on-ramp a half mile that way, and there's another on-ramp a half mile that way. So a half mile in either direction, I can still get on the exact same freeway and get home the way I want to, and everything will be fine. So I'll go ahead and pull into my parking spot here at my Vegas. Yeah. And that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm the first one here, because that's how I do things. I'm not late. I am 18 minutes early, and that is my comfort zone. Not everybody likes to be that early, but I do. So that's pretty good. I'm going to open my mirror, give a little dabby dab because I got the weepies. But that's what's real today. It's not always easy to talk about exactly what's going on, especially when it's something like this, where I do feel like there's a part of me that feels embarrassed and silly that it's something that's been upsetting me at all. But there's another part of me that's like, all right, Katherine, if you feel this way, you are not a unique and perfect snowflake. You are not. You're not. You are the same decaying organic matter as everything else. So if you feel this way, then chances are there's somebody else who also feels this way, who maybe was in an accident and is scared now. So if you have been in an accident and you've had the same feelings that I do, if you would like to share your experience with me, I'd really love to read it and to know about it, because that would make me feel a little more normal. But if not, here's from me to you. You're not alone, and it's okay to be freaked out sometimes, because sometimes life can be freaky, but you gotta keep smiling and pick up and keep on trucking along. And I made it to work on the freeway, and everything's fine. And I'm gonna go home on the freeway. See, and now I said that, and the anxiety and tension starts to rise, and is that normal? I don't know. But it's real. That's what it is today. So that's what I'm gonna put in today's post, in today's vlog. I love you guys great big bunches. I'm really excited to get my car back. I'm really excited to get life back to normal, because this is not me. This afraid to drive, afraid of the car. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is EVs of Nevada. This is car stuff with Katherine. This is the Batmobile. This is what the hell I do. And I, like, this fender bender brought up the fear that I didn't even know was there. So it kind of came out of left field, and I wasn't prepared for it, and I was trying to deal with a way to that's why there was no post yesterday, because I was trying to articulate, and I didn't articulate successfully, so I didn't post anything, because hey, they're not all winners. I post pretty much everything when it's coherent, or halfway coherent, but this was not halfway coherent, because I was just upset. Yeah, so there it is there, guys. But I made it to work. It's now 15 minutes before work starts. It's 8:45, and I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna have a better day now that I've had a little bit of catharsis with you guys here in the vlog, and that I told some truth, and that's just, it always makes me feel better, and I'm consistently grateful for the audience that I have on YouTube, and for all of you who are always participating with me and always commenting and giving me that big love and telling me about your day and telling me about your life and your experience, and just having this outlet and this place to have this dialogue with a bunch of people that I've never met but who were super nice to me anyway. It's been absolutely stunning, beyond belief, and I'm just really, really happy about it. And I'm just gonna go back to being happy about stuff, because that's what I do. So if this is your first time on the channel, this might have been kind of weird, but thank you so much for watching. I'm usually not this emotional. Please consider subscribing right over here. I promise it's usually about cars. And here's some other videos I'm positive you'll enjoy a lot more right down here. My name is Katherine. This is EVs of Nevada. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile. Oh yeah, I got the smiles back.